What's up everyone, I'm your host Edward, and on this channel I talk about stocks and crypto news. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see my videos every single week. And don't forget to hit that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, there's a bunch of news that I really want to get into today, so let's not waste any more time and let's just dive right in. So as usual, before I get into the juicy articles, I'm just going to go through an overview of the markets. And today we can see that the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, and the S&P are doing very well today, and they're up almost 1.5% each. And this is all based on the Fed's news about interest rates, so if you haven't seen that yet, I highly recommend you to read it. And it seems like the markets are now recovering from the news that happened on Monday about Evergrande. And if we look at our heat map here, it looks very satisfying because everything is green at the moment. We can pretty much see that the financial sectors are doing very well today, as well as the energy sector. But overall, not a sale day, but your portfolio should be looking very well if you are into stocks. Now, if we head into the crypto market, it is up about 1.85%, and the crypto market is at about 1.96 trillion, which is pretty much the same on Monday. And Bitcoin is still above that $43,000 closing range by September. And I'm gonna follow Plan B's bet and say that Bitcoin wouldn't close below $43,000 by the end of this month. And Ethereum seems to be pumping back up as well. And on Monday, I think Ethereum was a really good buy. And right now, I think altcoins will outperform Bitcoin because everyone's trying to find the next best coin. So looking deeper into Bitcoin's price, we can see that, right now Bitcoin is at about 44,800. I guess I didn't refresh my page, and that's my bad. But a couple days ago, right, we saw the golden cross here, which the 50-day moving average crosses the 200-day moving average, which was this one. And this one right here, for reference, is the 50-day moving average, which is this dark blue line. And usually that's a bullish indicator, and that, Bitcoin's price was supposed to go all the way up to the moon. However, this is why I warn people to take technicals with a grain of salt, because one news like the Evergrande situation, which happened on Monday, could bring the price down dramatically. And these indicators aren't, always 100%, but it seems like Bitcoin's trying to make its way back up here, so we'll see. But the main news that I want to get in today is Robinhood, because they're going to be rolling out a crypto wallet fully by 2022. And right now, app users can now join and get into the waitlist so they can get early access to the wallet. And part of the reason why they're getting into crypto wallets is because majority of their user base are pretty much into crypto. And pretty much Gen Z uses Robinhood. I believe I did see an article where majority of Gen Zs are only willing to invest into crypto and not stocks. And the reason why they're not kind of, releasing this right now is because they want to make sure that their systems are scaling and that they're prepared to handle the full load. And now you might be wondering why you can still buy crypto on Robinhood and what's the difference between that and the wallets. Now the thing is, whatever's in your wallet is technically yours. However, if you want to transact with crypto, then these wallets are important, because without a crypto wallet, then these cryptos aren't able to be used as a medium of exchange. So you have to sell your cryptos for fiat and then transact with fiat, which is why Robinhood is getting into these crypto wallets. And over here, right, last month the company reported that crypto trading accounted for 41% of its revenue in the second quarter, with more than 60% of its customers trading cryptocurrencies. And the fact that right now the SEC is investigating on whether they want to ban payment for order flow, and I can clearly see Robinhood trying to find the next best thing where they can kind of recover just in case as a backup plan, and I think this is it. And these stats already tells me why they're getting into it. But heading into the next news, one of Robinhood's competitor called Revolut is worth about $33 billion, and they're rolling out a commission-free stock trading in the US. So it seems like they really want to compete in the space. Now when it comes to these exchanges, there's not a lot of difference between each of them in my opinion. It's pretty much how they market themselves at the end of the day. But Revolut will be using payment for order flow, which is very similar to how Robinhood makes most of their revenue. And this is a really bold move from them, because right now the SEC are considering banning this, and not only that, they're fighting their biggest competitor in the space. And if you don't know how payment for order flow works, I highly recommend you to research on how that works, because majority of the exchanges in the US use this, but this type of method is banned elsewhere around the globe, like Canada, which is why we don't have commission-free trading, which sucks. But yeah, we'll see how Revolut can, differentiate themselves compared to Robinhood, because right now a lot of similarities are going on. Now into the next article, it seems like China is making preparations for Evergrande's business failure. And right now, the CCP is very reluctant to bail out the country's most heavily indebted property developer and is asking local officials across the country to prepare for a possible storm. Now, surprisingly, this headline was everywhere, like on CNBC and Wall Street Journal, but the stock market did not react heavily to this news. And I think the markets already know that this is coming. So I guess the market's waiting for the nail in the coffin for this to really happen before the markets really react. But yeah, a lot of investors in the US were expecting Beijing or the CCP to bail out Evergrande, but it seems like they don't want to do that, which is pretty surprising. And we'll see how China's economy will react to this, because remember, this will be a domino effect into every global market, because right now China is the second strongest economy out there at the moment, and a lot of hedge funds in the US are invested into Evergrande, and they kind of hold this in a lot of pension plans as well as ETFs. So just because this company is located in China doesn't mean it will affect us. But yeah, if local governments aren't willing to bail them out, then I personally think a bloodbath will happen. However, that doesn't mean you have to time the market and wait until, everything is resolved before you invest into the market, because every day you don't buy into the market, there are potential losses because no one knows what will happen. And right now, no one can tell you. Even Warren Buffett cannot tell you what this will do to the stock market. So next up, it seems like Facebook says that it underreported ad performance due to Apple's iPhone privacy update. Now for those that don't know, right, 2021 is when Facebook and Apple pretty much have a really huge beef because of Apple's privacy updates and screwing over Facebook's revenues. And Facebook estimated that it underreported web conversions on Apple's iOS by 15%, which is pretty big. And the reason why this happened, right, is because iPhone and iPad users can choose to opt out into being tracked by any applications. And when this news came out a couple of days ago, I believe Facebook was down about $15, which resulted into a 4% drop on Monday. But yeah, personally, I'm opt out. I don't want Facebook to track where I am and what I do all the time, but it is all personal preference. I can definitely see Apple's vision on what they want to do, but I also see Facebook struggles as well, because that's part of the revenue and their vision, which is to monitor everyone and figure out who you are. And I think a lot of people have to remember that when any application is free, you're pretty much the product. And yeah, that's a sad reality, but Facebook seems to be not doing too well. But long term, I still think that Facebook, in terms of their revenues and their growth, are still pretty good. Morally, I understand why people can't invest in it, but other than that, the markets don't care about morals or your feelings, unfortunately. So you have to keep that in mind if you are an investor. Next up, it seems like Uber shares closed up more than 11% a couple of days ago as ride-hailing companies raises its outlook. Now, Uber stock has been unprofitable for about several years now, and they have been burning a lot of money, especially through the pandemic. And looking into this article, right, they see search prices easing up by the end of the year because they have been struggling with high ride costs and long wait times throughout the pandemic. This paragraph here is probably why a lot of investors were very hyped up, and that's because adjusted EBITDA basis should be profitable by the fourth quarter, but the CEO did warn that this is a significant forecasting uncertainty, meaning he can't promise anything, but based on what he's personally saying, he can see a positive EBITDA on the fourth quarter, which is pretty good considering that they have been burning billions of dollars every year. Next up, Dubai launching Crypto Valley in tax-free zone. So there's gonna be no personal or corporate income tax when it comes to crypto. Now, interestingly, this is my point of view, but I think these kind of cities and countries are trying to bring in new talent and get a lot of smart people within their cities when it comes to crypto. And the reason why a lot of people get visas to work into the US, because the big tech companies in Silicon Valley is located there, and they have offices all around the US. And the potential of finding a job in the US is very high, especially in the tech sector. But I think these cities like Dubai, El Salvador, Brazil, Paraguay, and all these other countries are noticing that a lot of smart talent are in crypto. And the best way to do that is to kind of announce that they won't have any corporate or income tax when it comes to crypto. These cities or countries are able to fund, businesses if they are in the crypto sector. That will highly bring in a lot of people into their countries or cities. In the end, Dubai is known as a tourism place where a lot of rich people go and kind of do their vacation, and this is definitely on my bucket list. And skydiving here will be amazing, and I'm hoping that this will be the very first place I ever do it, and hopefully nothing goes wrong. Obviously. That wraps up for this video. If you're interested in buying crypto, please head into my referral links in the description box down below, and we can both get a small cash bonus once you sign up and make some trades. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm, and if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see my videos every single week. That's pretty much it, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.